Hi, friends. It's Latoya McBean Pompey, immigration lawyer and creator of Smart Immigration Academy. Friends, if you're out there and you're watching, I'm going to be talking about today's Supreme Court ruling with respect to public charge. Something big happened today that I think that you guys need to be aware of, which is why I've cut through my work day here on this Monday afternoon to have a little chat with you guys about what happened, breaking news with respect to public charge today. And I'm going to talk about that. That's actually all I'm going to talk about. So if you're out there, give me some thumbs up, some likes, and let's get this going. Let's get this going. Who's out there today? Where are you watching me from? Again, I'm going to be talking about public charge. This is Latoya McBean Pompey. This video, well, this is live. It's not pre-recorded, but I will be posting it to my YouTube audience on McBean Immigration TV. It's so nice to see you guys. I see some hearts. I see you guys are chiming in. So let's get to it, guys. I do this thing and my husband says, oh, I love when you do this thing. You snap. We got something important to talk about today. So what happened today, friends? So today, the Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court ruled on, basically they sided with President Trump, the Trump administration, on public charge. And this is a temporary ruling. There's still more to go with this, but this is very significant because, hi Latoya, it's so great to see you. Thanks for watching from North Carolina. Thanks, Juanita from Trinidad. Nice to see you, Juanita. Okay, so friends, today the Supreme Court ruled on an issue that the Trump administration brought to its attention just recently. So as you guys know, the public charge rule here in America was on hold. It was supposed to go into effect in October of last year, of 2019, but it did not go into effect because all of these lawsuits were filed around the country to temporarily halt it or stop it. Right? And so injunctions were issued. And so then the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, which is right here in New York, issued a nationwide hold, which meant that the government cannot implement public charge in America yet, not until the litigation is over, the lawsuit is over. So fast forward to today. Okay, so today, the Supreme Court ruled, they basically lifted the Second Circuit Court of Appeals injunction, nationwide injunction. So what this means is that the Department of Homeland Security can move forward with implementing public charge until the court here in New York makes a final ruling on the lawsuit, on the substance of the lawsuit. And while the parties are basically fighting it out in court, okay? And so the Supreme Court said that the government can move forward with implementing its public charge rules until the Second Circuit Court of Appeals makes a final ruling or final decision on the lawsuit that is pending right now. So this case can very well go back to the Supreme Court if once the New York Court of Appeals rules, right? If it doesn't rule on Trump's side, with much certainty, we know that President Trump will take this issue back up to the Supreme Court. So this is big. It was a 5-4 decision. I have it in front of me. I'm not going to bore you with the details of this, of what's written here. Basically, again, the Supreme Court has lifted the injunction, the nationwide injunction that was in place to stop public charge. The injunction was in place to prevent the administration from moving forward with public charge. Now that the injunction is lifted, right? The Department of Homeland Security can move forward with its policy, its new policy. Remember, we talked about two public charge rules, right? The Department of Homeland Security has its rules, and those are the rules that the Supreme Court ruled on today. And then the Department of State has its rules. The rules are basically the same. The Department of State's rules applies to everyone who's on the outside of America trying to get in. And we're going to talk, I'm going to refresh your memory about what public charge is and who it applies to in this video, because it's been a minute, right? It's been a while since we talked about this. So I'm going to refresh your memory and some of the details. But these two rules are on the table. Department of State has made more progress with its implementation of public charge rules than the Department of Homeland Security. And so people on the outside, more denials, and I talk about this with Smart Immigration folks, Academy folks, that denial rate has gone up quite a bit outside of America for those applying for visa to come here, immigrant visa to come here. It's gone up. Why? It went up because the Department of State has quietly and behind the scenes been implementing some of these rules, and these officers who are interviewing your family and friends around the world are considering a number of factors that they weren't considering before. And so more people have been denied based on public charge. So friends, that's on the Department of State side. There's still more work that they need to do to finalize everything to make it fully implement public charge. But that's what they've been doing. But on the Department of Homeland Security side, not much progress has happened because of all these lawsuits and this nationwide injunction. So now, what does this mean for you guys today? Okay. So let me take a deep breath here and see how I'm going to really break this down. So the first thing I would say to you is well, you may have the question of, okay, so when is this effective? I mean, I'm about to file for adjustment of status, or I may have already filed. What does this mean for me? I want to, my spouse has filed for me. I've applied for adjustment of status. Okay, or I'm about to apply for adjustment of status. So let me just say right away that we don't yet have the instructions on how this is going to be implemented very specifically yet. I don't even know the date. I know that it was supposed to be implemented or effective as of October, I think 15th, 2019. That date is obviously behind us. So we need more instructions from the Department of Homeland Security to let us know what's going to happen. I don't know. Is it retroactive? I can't really answer that question right now. But when I do, find out the answer, I'll be sure to let you guys know. It's very early. I don't believe any instructions have been put out yet. We're watching this very closely. The second issue that you guys need to know about is that if you're here in the United States and you're planning to apply for adjustment of status, there is a new form called the Declaration of Self-Sufficiency that you guys would need to fill out going forward. It's a 19-page form. You may have heard me talk about this before. It's very detailed. It gets into a lot of your financial affairs. It's very intense. That form is not in effect yet, of course, because the rule had been on hold. So I don't know when they're going to put that out yet. But again, when I learn these details, I will share them with you. So that's what. So if you're planning on going through the adjustment of status process here in the United States, with public charge being the active rule, this new definition, this expanded definition of public charge, you're going to have to go through that. You're going to have to go through that process, that new process, unless the Second Circuit Court of Appeals side with the plaintiffs in the lawsuit that's pending in front of it, and then then public charge is stopped again, and then it goes back up to the Supreme Court. So it can be one of those kind of yo-yo type of implementation over the next several months. We'll see how it plays out in court. My understanding from what I've been reading is that the Second Circuit is trying to move very fast with this lawsuit. So we'll see when they make their final decision, and then whether it goes back to the Supreme Court on appeal. That's likely to happen. But for now, this thing is real. This thing is in effect. And so it impacts those of you who are here in the United States. If you filed already, this is the next question you might be asking. Well, what if I filed already, Latoya? Well, if you filed already, then it should not hit you. It should not hit you because normally there's an effective date, and then it's for any applications that are filed going forward after the rule is in effect. So if you filed before the effective date, which I don't even know what that is right now, I don't want to give you wrong information, but if you file after the effective date, then most certainly it does affect you. So I have my suspicions as to when that effective date is, but I don't want to say anything on the record here and make you more terrified than maybe you are already. So that's what's happened in public charge. The nationwide injunction was lifted. Okay, let's move on. It was lifted by the Supreme Court, and the Department of Homeland Security. Basically, this thing is effective right now. It's effective. It's effective right now. So I wrote months ago, I had this little guide here on public charge, easy to read guide, public charge, what you need to know. I put a link in this description below this video. So click on that link and download this free guide. That's what I'm going to be looking at right now as I refresh your memory on what public charge is and who it applies to. So that's what I'm shifting to at this point. So guys, as you guys know, public charge is a new policy that basically expands on the definition of public charge, okay? So what am I saying here? I'm saying that if under the new rule, if you receive public benefits for more than 12 months in the aggregate over a 36-month period, the government will label you as a public charge. For those on the outside of America applying, the inquiry or the question really is, are you more likely than not to use certain public benefits for more than 12 months in the aggregate over a 36-month period? So basically, friends, if you receive 2 benefits in 1 month, basically the government counts that as 2 months. So, you know, this adds up very quickly. And if you've been receiving benefits for a period of time, you're at that 12-month mark, or even you've exceeded it. So the government can label you a public charge, which means that they can deny your green card application, okay? Who do these new rules apply to? It basically applies to everyone who is applying for admission to come into the United States, and those who are obviously applying for a green card here in the United States. So firstly, it applies to those of you going through the embassy outside of America, those who are here in America applying for adjustment of status, anyone applying to change their status or extend their stay. Also, it applies to folks who are applying for non-immigrant visas as well. And then green card holders who have stayed outside of America for more than 6 months, it applies to you as well. So if you're seeking naturalization down the road and you've stayed out, and the record shows that you had stayed out of America for more than 6 months, public charge can be an issue for you at that point. Okay, next, what programs are included in the rule? So in my guide, I have a nice little list here. This is a very easy to read guide. The font is big. You know, it's well spaced out. It's very easy. You could read this in maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes. It's very easy overview. But what programs are included in the rule? So there's SSI, TANF, which is cash assistance, SNAP, which is food stamps, Section 8 housing voucher, another Section 8 rental assistance, public housing, Medicaid, okay, except for certain Medicaid programs. Emergency Medicaid is not part of this. And then I download the guide because it goes into more details as far as what other benefits are not part of this. Okay, so the biggest deal with public charge is that when the adjudicating officer is looking at you or your relative, they're going to size that individual up based on 5 factors, okay? 5 factors about you. Your age, which really is about employment. Have you been employed? Are you employed now? Have you been employed recently? Are you likely going to be employed very soon? Do you have a job offer lined up? What is your, if you're between a certain age bracket, between, what is it, 18 and 64, I believe, you're supposed to be working, guys. You're supposed to be working. And you're not in school, you're supposed to be working. So they're looking at those factors, that factor. They're also looking at your health to determine, do you need any long-term medical coverage going forward? Are you able to sustain yourself, pay your own medical bills? They're going to be looking at that. Hold on a second, let me go back here. Your family status, how big your household size is, and whether you have enough income to sustain that family size. Certainly they're going to be looking at your assets, your income, all of that, education, and then skills. They're looking at your skill level with respect to employability, but also with respect to how well you speak English. And then the other big piece of this, friends, is the proposed bond. If you fail the test, the officer may or can offer you the opportunity to pay an $8,000 bond, minimum of $8,000 in the form of cash and some other surety bond. So download my guide, 5 minutes, easy read, just to get a quick overview, refresh your memory on what public charge means. And yeah, and so let me say this. When Smart Immigration Academy opened up the first week, what did I talk about with them? Public charge. I said to them, public charge is the biggest thing you guys need to know about what's happening with immigration. And so we tackled that during week 1 of Smart Immigration Academy. And so I have videos out there, friends, on public charge. Other videos are circulating out there on YouTube. Get as much information as you can. You could read those blogs. There's some good blogs out there. So stay close to the details, but you should know that the Department of Homeland Security now has the power today to move forward with all those steps that they need to take to implement public charge. And so that's a big bummer, really. It sucks. But again, this is not completely final yet, because the Second Circuit has this lawsuit pending, and they're moving fast on it from what I understand. And once they make a decision, then we'll see what that decision is. And then if this has to go back to the Supreme Court, that's exactly what will happen. It will just go back. Okay. So on Wednesday, friends, on Webinar Wednesday, I was going to actually talk about the Stokes interview. And then this happened today. So I'm going to change the topic to public charge and tackle public charge on Webinar Wednesday, this coming Wednesday. And so I'll stay tuned for my another post with the link so that you guys can register for my public charge webinar on Wednesday night, 8:00 p.m. Eastern time, 5:00 Pacific time. And so, yeah, friends, this is the time to get as much information as you guys possibly can get. So, and then lastly, totally unrelated to public charge, but I want to remind you guys that I do have a giveaway. I have a giveaway announcement to make on Friday, January 31st. Okay, so I'm giving away 3 $100 Amazon gift card, and you guys need to get on my sign up for the getaway, the giveaway. You guys can tell I need a vacation. I want to go away. I want to go somewhere. Anyway, it's a giveaway. So yeah, sign up for the giveaway, and I'll go ahead and also place the link below this video as well so that you guys can sign up for it. $100 Amazon gift card. I'm making the announcement on Friday. So sign up, answer some questions that I have out there for you, and then you've officially entered to win a $100 gift card from Amazon. And so I'm excited to announce those 3 winners on Friday. So it's so good to see some people. I see someone on from Lebanon. Opal is watching from Maryland. Marcus, hi, good to see you. Apriti, nice to see you. Andy, thanks for that. Alicia and some others. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you. And yeah, sign up for Wednesday, Webinar Wednesday, and learn some more about public charge, because that's what I have to talk about now in light of what happened with DHS. There's a lot of issues to touch on, specifically the Declaration of Self-Sufficiency. I have a draft of it. I'm going to go over that draft on Wednesday night during that webinar. Then there's also that DS 5540, which is the new form for that those of you who are on the outside of America will need to fill out. So I'm going to touch on that form as well. So yeah, Webinar Wednesday. And friends, thanks for sharing this with me, sharing this time with me. Share this video with your feed, and stay encouraged, because you're informed and you're part of this community getting good information. So pass this on. Thanks so much for doing that. And friends, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.